A trip to the Getty Center Museum in Los Angeles. Hi, welcome to Garage Geek. So Garage Geek got out of the garage and went into the city. So on Saturday, I met a friend and we went to the Getty Center Museum. Now, Los Angeles actually has two Getty museums. There's also a Getty Villa. But that one, I'm not sure if it burned down or got partially burned, or it just closed because of smoke damage. I'm not sure how much damage, but that museum is closed right now because of the Palisades fires. But this museum, the Getty Center, is still open. Now, this museum is not that far from my house, but with traffic, it can be pretty far. So luckily, when we went on Saturday morning, the traffic wasn't bad. So I made sure to make early morning reservations. Now, the first reservations were available at 10. In order to go to the Getty, it's free entrance. You just have to pay parking and you have to make a reservation. Now, I was lucky because the friend that I went with, his name is Claudio. You'll see him in some of the pictures. He actually got parking passes. And so it was totally free for us. And that was a $25 savings. Even though the entrance is free, parking is $25. After driving there and parking, we were there for a 10:30 slot. We walked around, and I think we made a little bit of a mistake because we decided that we were going to eat outside of the museum. But by the time we were done, we were really hungry. I think that if we had eaten in the grounds of the museum, then we would have stayed and enjoyed more art. But I'd been to the Getty quite a few times, but this was my friend's first time. So the Getty Museum is set up kind of like a ring. And so you enter in here and you park down here and then the tram brings you up here. And then you go up these steps and you enter into the museum. And once you go through here, this is the special exhibits. Sorry, this is backwards for me. This is the special exhibits center. And this is why I wanted to go. I wanted to see an exhibit called Painting Men by Gustav Caillebotte. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Wanted to see that exhibit. So we went here first. And then because it's a ring shape, you basically do one floor, then you go up, you cross over, you do the top floor, you go down, you cross over, go down, up, over, down, top, go down, cross over. You get the idea. A lot of the artwork that's really famous is on the second floor, the top floors. A lot of the bottom floors are more antiquities and sculptures. I've seen it quite a few times, so we stuck to the top floors after we saw the main exhibit, and then we left. Even doing that, we had been in the museum a couple of hours, and we were both quite tired. There was a mini heat wave over the weekend with everything involved with the driving and the parking and the taking the tram. It was pretty exhausting by the time we left. Now, what's fun about going to this is that there is a tram that you take, and as you go up the tram, it kind of winds around, and once it goes around a curve, you get these beautiful views of Los Angeles and the mountains. Now, of course, this view is really, really neat when the sun is going down. Compared to most museums, it's not that large, but you do end up walking a lot because you go in and out of buildings and up and down steps quite often when you go to the Getty. So let me go ahead and talk about the exhibit. So the exhibit was actually way larger than I thought. There were at least 5 or 6 pretty big rooms, and the artwork was really cool. I was amazed at his artwork. It was truly gorgeous. What also surprised me is that some of them were actually really quite large. There were a couple that took up a whole wall, whereas others were really tiny. There were also a couple that he did, in the Getty, they had multiple sketches of how he sketched it out, and then they showed the final art piece. All in all, I'm really, really glad I took the time to go see this art exhibit because it was truly worth it, in my opinion. Now, the rest of the museum, there are some pretty famous art pieces, a lot of impressionist pieces that are on display and quite famous. For example, there's Van Gogh's Lilies, and there's one room, and you could totally tell, because as I was walking through, there were moderate crowds, but this one room all of a sudden was jam-packed. There were so many people and a lot of noise coming through it, and it was every single painting was by someone famous, like Renoir's and Matisse, Van Gogh. I mean, it's just painting after painting. Yeah, what kind of pepper is that?
habanero.
You even put that on your rice. Aren't you gonna eat all the seeds? Wow, I can't believe it. He says it's really, really spicy, but he keeps putting more because he's a masochist. That's just crazy. So that was Garage Geek's trip to the Getty Center Museum. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing the art. As I stated, I was so happy that I took the time and went to see this gorgeous, gorgeous art. In addition, thanks to my friend, I have 2 free parking passes to go to the Getty in the future. So I'm waiting for visitors to come to Los Angeles so we can take a trip to the Getty. I want to thank all of you for the support.